who will be evaluated by Mr. Brody or Dr. Brody. All feedback is good feedback, is the title. She will be speaking from 5 to 7 minutes. Elizabeth is a strategic planner specializing in business process automation. Her primary job is not only ensuring her company has the tools to be able to provide the automation the business needs, but also to ensure automation tools are used safely and securely, developers are following proper development best practices and enterprise standards. The team is delivering high quality solutions to the business. And 4, there is exceptional tracking and support of the development automations. Please, with a warm welcome to our first speaker for this morning, Miss Elizabeth.
Years ago, someone left our team, and I inherited a new automation tool. I was stoked. This particular automation tool integrated really well with another automation tool I've told you all about, my robot army. Really excited about this. Unfortunately, unlike my robot army that everybody at the company loves, nobody was really using this tool, which was baffling to me because when you do industry research, numerous Fortune 500 companies lead with this. If you've recently gotten a mortgage, highly probable this particular type of automation helped facilitate that mortgage process. So the first thing I did was to set forth and figure out, what gives? Why are we using this thing? Reached out to all of our developers. What works for you? What doesn't work for you? How well is this tool helping? Reached out to the business, developed a large backlog of automation, things we could be doing to help the company with this tool. I took a week-long training class, even got my fingers on the keyboard, got dirty, and did some development and operational support to really understand what this tool does. Met with the vendor, got lots of demos. Wow, this thing is cool. That is the biggest thing I learned. It is super awesome. It is way cooler than I thought it was. Imagine robots and humans working seamlessly together in an automation universe. We can automate business processes end to end. But there were definitely a long list of deficiencies in how we were using this tool that was prohibiting the adoption of this tool at the company, making it very difficult for developers to learn it and use it. So lots of change coming people's way. Now, while I have a lengthy experience in automation, over 10 years of experience in automation, I have to admit, the new kid on the block with this particular tool. The result, I wanted to test the waters, see how well our existing developers would accept a certain amount of change. Change is hard, my friends. Pick something super simple, highly beneficial to the company, something that I thought we could all get around and would be pretty benign. Security. Who doesn't want to do things securely, safely? Who doesn't want to protect data? Let's get in there. During that activity of me learning this tool, I had to actually open up some tickets with the vendor. And at that point, there were a few times that the information they were requesting from me was giving me a little pause. I realized that maybe, and actually not even a maybe, we don't have good guidelines in regards to the level of information we should be sharing with this vendor when we ask for help. And they asked for a lot. So I met with our security folks. I met with our vendor managers, we went through the contracts, and we came up with a solid set of guidelines, like, hey, if you go and open up a ticket, this is what you should do. I reached out to our developers, let them know, hey, this is the change we're putting in, and this is why we're going to do it. This is what I want you to stop sharing with them, but fear not, I have other ways and types of information you can give to them. Have any problems, reach out to me. Let me know. We'll work through it. We'll figure it out, and we'll make this work. Weeks went by, I heard nothing. All right. But finally, one of my more senior developers opened up a ticket. Like, all right, the feedback coming in. Promptly, I did get some feedback. Let's see what that was. These guidelines are crippling to our development effort and ridiculous. Yeah. What is the point? What is the point of having this vendor support if we can't provide the information they need to be able to help us? I think he likes the change, reform. To say, my friends, that this was a strongly worded letter, as this was only the first two sentences in a very lengthy email I received, would probably be putting it lightly. Not only did he opt to send this feedback to myself, but the entire distribution that I had originally contacted. Oh. Fortunately, he's a go-getter, and he fixed the situation. On top of that, he went out and talked to the security folks, really downplayed the sensitivity of the data he wanted to share for his recent ticket, and they reversed their decision so he could get the help he needed from the vendor. So essentially reversed my entire change that I had worked on putting in place. Great information for me, as I mentioned, he did take it upon himself to reply to everybody. And so there are plenty of people to be offended for me and provide some feedback to him on his level of professionalism. This was actually really great for me because I was able to take a moment to step back and remove any kind of feedback or feelings I had in regards to his feedback, because at the end of the day, he had some good nuggets of information in here. There were some things he was saying and not saying that was very important I needed to take in. So this developer is a lone wolf developer. Develops by himself. With the help of Google and YouTube, he makes it happen. He doesn't have a large group of developers to bounce ideas off of, no expert to say, hey, am I doing this right? He doesn't have easy access to training. He doesn't have any kind of tool to sit on top of his code to provide him feedback of like, hey, you know, you can improve this, or here's some information you need to change in your code. I essentially didn't realize I cut off his primary lifeline of help, the vendor. Fortunately for him, I'm in the mood for change, my friends, and I can help him with all of these things. And I did. I first tried to address the training thing because even myself, I needed some training. And I worked with our training department to set up a contract with an external company to bring in training. And back in December, we had a great training class with a large group of people, and we have a standing way to get training now on this tool. I then worked with my management and my vendor to swap out an existing contractor. We had to bring in an expert in this particular tool. This guy joined the team a month ago. Amazing job. He has been a wealth of knowledge for everybody. Absolutely needed. I also reached out to our AI group. We have some cool AI chatbots. Think of it as Google on steroids. Ask a question, and the bot's like, hey, I was out on the internet, found you all this great information, exactly what you need. And then finally, on my backlog of things to do, I have a project I want to stand up to get some budget to bring in some code analyzer tools. Some, what developers may know of as debuggers, ways to provide feedback. It's automation that sits on top of your code that says, hey, you can improve here. And by the way, there's some sensitive data you may want to remove on it here. So gives active feedback right away to our development team. So you're going to be sitting there going, why are you telling this whole story? Why do I care? Well, I want you to walk away with two things today. One, when you implement change, the most important thing is the people. The people are the most important, and the people closest to the work will always give you the most valuable feedback. And the last thing, all feedback is good feedback. Positive, negative, no matter how it's delivered, if you listen to it and apply it, I promise your change will be better than you ever imagined it could be.